Uh-oh. We are live, and hopefully it's not all super potato internet. So I'm testing out streaming here from from the Starlink connection. I'm gonna drop a link here if anybody wants to join. So if we can have some guests maybe. And here we go. Hey, what's up? All right. So yeah, I'm going over looking at Lunar Crush right now, and shocker, uh one of the leading currencies right now is internet computer. Um, so a couple of months ago, I actually found the Open Network uh, was leading socially on Lunar Crush. So for those of you who don't go to Lunar Crush tracks social metrics across all platforms. And way back in January, it was actually pretty clear that something was happening. And that's when I first started diving into the Open Network and seeing what was happening. But then, as things evolved, I sort of forgot about the Open Network until May, when, bam, all of a sudden they popped up into the top 10. But, you can see here that there's been some pretty substantial growth, especially with the interactions. So lots of people are talking about Lunar Crush right now and Dfinity. And one of the reasons I believe is because I'm going to share this. So this is that Open Chat. So the Open Chat is a completely on-chain platform that's built on the internet computer right now. Everything is on chain. All of these messages are completely on chain. You can reward users, give them tokens, like I highlighted earlier in my video. And I'll share this tab. So this is that 𝗚𝘂𝗲𝗀𝘀, right? So this is a tradable token. It's $1.24 right now. And it's these types of applications, these that's being built on chain right now, that's going to usher in this mass adoption. So this Windows, I talked a little bit about it. Everything here is actually, this whole operating system is functioning on internet computer. So this whole thing right now, this operating system, is done on the internet computer, and it's all on chain. They even have games here, which is pretty nuts, right? So this game is this pinball machine game. That's all on chain. So people are wondering, like, what's going to be on chain? You know, well, everything is going to be on chain, and you can see it with these crazy apps. Now, what it's going to take for everything to go to the next level, I mean, I have no idea. I mean, right now on the Open Network, it's the top 10, right? And that thing is really hot right now because of the meme coins. And all it's going to take is something like that to usher in a mass adoption. But there's lots of applications that are being built right now using distributed ledger technology. I'm gonna head over to the National DigiFoundry, something that I've talked about an awful lot before. So this whole thing, this whole DAO, this National DigiFoundry, um, that's spearheaded by the National Science Foundation, Space Force, and the U.S. Department of Treasury. Okay, so it really doesn't get much bigger than that. And this is all on chain, just like the stuff that's happening with the internet computer is all on chain. So this DAO is completely on chain, and it has different working groups, like this space working group is all on chain. And you can see here there's a DAG address. And this working group is centered around the utilization of digital assets in space. So they're securing space systems and the entire infrastructure. And a lot of the key players in here, it's not just Space Force. There's this Defense Innovation Unit. I think even the NSA is part of this. But there's lots of key players in here. Microsoft is in here. This company, 𝗿𝗂𝗄𝗁 AI, that I've talked about an awful lot, they're in here. You might not have heard of 𝗿𝗂𝗄𝗁 AI, but 𝗿𝗂𝗄𝗁 AI is partnered with Microsoft, and they specifically have done tons of interesting applications, and they have been awarded multiple use cases from the government. Let me see if I can get here on their website, because I really wanted to do a deep dive into these guys specifically, because you could probably spend an hour or two just looking at all the use cases that these guys have been awarded. Here's the Microsoft partnership that I've talked about. So, Microsoft is, one of the, by market cap, it's one of the largest companies in the world. And you can clearly see here that they are dabbling their toes into digital assets, because they're working directly with this 𝗿𝗂𝗄𝗁 AI company. Let me see if I can find the links here that goes over a lot of the use cases that that they've already established. Here's the team here, but that's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to find the actual. Here's some of their products. This is pretty interesting. I mean, I guess I'll go here. So they have quantum resistant encryption technology. So one of the things that they're using is neuromorphic computing principles. So those of you who are following that company Dynex, right, they're also using neuromorphic computing principles. And so what that means is it's mimicking how the brain maps out stuff. They have this quantum encryption technology. So this stuff is going up in satellites right now. And some of the stuff that they're doing right now, so they're part of that space working group. This little encryption jammer, this plugs onto any cell phone, and it makes it quantum resistant. So that's pretty crazy stuff. But that's not what I wanted to get on. There's another, maybe it's this website here, where you can see all of the contracts that they've won. Let me find it. It's This website is definitely a little bit tricky to navigate. Is it on the space one? Once I find it, you'll see it's pretty wild. Uh, all of the grants that they've specifically won. Um, it'll just blow your mind. Um, maybe it's the services tab. Uh, I think this is it. Trying to find. Ah, yeah. Okay, so here's here's where I first started diving in a little bit into this. So you can see here how they're integrating with Azure. So Azure is Microsoft's cloud computing, and they're using their artificial intelligence to be able to create like what is actually like true and valid, right? And that's where some of this technology from the hypergraph comes into play, because constellations metagraphs can validate any data at the source. And this authentication of data is going to become super important in the future. But this isn't the only one. There's another site that where you can see all of the applications that they've won, all the grants and all the awards that they've won. It's pretty interesting. So I recommend that everybody just at least dive into Forward Edge AI. I don't know if you're going to want to. Ooh, maybe is it this one? All collections. Yeah, you're going to have to bear with me for a second here. I'll find it, and it's crazy. All the applications that they've won, all the grants, all the patents. Yeah, I think this one is. Oh yeah, here's one for the Navy that they've won. So it's again, it's just showing how they can accurately disseminate data. Yeah, I think I found it. I think this is the one. I mean, there's crazy stuff here. Here's some more with the Air Force. Here's one with FEMA, and FEMA again is also part of this thing, this National DigiFoundry. So if you go back to the National DigiFoundry and you go to their different working groups. Oh, here's the Stargazer wallet. So, and if you wanted any proof that the U.S. Department of Treasury was actually using Constellation's technology, and if they had a Stargazer wallet, well, you can clearly see it here. You can verify it for yourself. But I think the FEMA, is in this climate change and disaster working group. And what they're doing specifically in this working group is making sure all the funds get to the right place. So here's the Department of Treasury, because during COVID, what we saw was rampant abuse of federal funds. I mean, there was lots of people that were scamming opportunities just so people could get a piece of those billions of dollars that the government was dishing out. Going back to Forward Edge AI, again, they're talking here about the process and how all of this actually works. There's another one that I want to show you that's that's pretty crazy that I found that has to deal with that quantum encryption stuff. Is it? Oh, here's one that's specifically talking about blockchain and preserving communications. There's that phone that I was, that I was showing you guys. Yeah, so there's just going to be massive amounts of opportunity here, and all you have to do is just look at the key players that are, involved in tokenizing assets. What website is this? So this website that I'm on right now is the National DigiFoundry. You can. I've talked about these guys a lot of times. Here, I'll post a comment here. Let me copy this and put it in here somewhere. There's the National DigiFoundry. So I think that went out to all the that guy was asking on X, so I will reply to you on X. Yeah, so it's the National DigiFoundry. So the website is digifoundry.org. Let me go. I wish this. So when I put that reply, that's interesting. I just put it to YouTube. It didn't post it everywhere. It's supposed to post everywhere. Let me find. I don't see. All right, so I'm just going to reply on X here with the DigiFoundry website. So that's the DigiFoundry website, and again, you can just see the key principal players here. Yeah, it's got Space Force, National Science Foundation, U.S. Treasury Department, NASA. NASA is involved in this. Basically everybody that you could think of, all the key players in the government are involved in this. And all of this entire operation is on chain, just like everything that's running on Dfinity is all on chain. And guess what? They're using Constellation. They're using Metagraph technology to test out these digital assets. And to sort of get back here to Lunar Crush and, looking at, what's popping right now. So you can see their cryptocurrencies, and no, that's currencies, not cryptocurrencies. But let me get back to the cryptocurrency page, where you can clearly see Internet Computer is trending. So how you find it is the altcoin rank. So Lunar Crush's altcoin rank tracks social metrics across all platforms. So it's just seeing like what actually people are talking about. So currently right now you can see Shiba Inu is super popular. It's always pretty popular. I don't think people are going to ever stop talking about that. But then here you go, Internet Computer. So Internet Computer is leading number 4, right? So according to Lunar Crush's metrics, if your token is in the top 25 here, you should be paying attention to what's happening. And going back to this open chat platform, I personally believe why you're starting to see people talk more about the internet computer is because more people are becoming aware that there's apps like this being built. So what's crazy about this app, and actually almost everything that's built on the internet computer, is it's all free, right? So this whole platform is anybody can join. You don't need any chat tokens. You don't need any ICP tokens to join. It's completely free to use. 100% of it. Even creating your internet identity within Dfinity, it's free. It doesn't cost anything, and you can earn rewards. And so I think more people, as they figure out that you can actually earn crypto just by using the platform, it's going to be, a game changer. Let me go back to the app so I can show you guys exactly like what I'm talking about. So let me go to my profile, and so here's this chit, right? And so you get these rewards, and you can see all of these things that I've done, and I get these tokens, and I guess at the end of the month you get airdropped the chat token. And so what does that look like? Well, let me pull up that specific token so we can see what exactly that looks like. Chat. Let me share this screen here so everybody can see. Open chat. So it's this one. It's not Snapchat, right? So here's Open Chat. So again, this is a tradable token right now, and it's up 8% already. Maybe some of that is maybe some of it's from my posting. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any idea. But this is a tradable token. It's 29 cents, and I get airdropped these tokens once a month apparently. And I think that they're going to work out different ways that users can actually earn these tokens. So it's a little bit similar to how it operates on the open network and their play to earn games. So that's pretty interesting. Let me see if I can share that with you guys, like what actually that looks like. I'm going to have to bear with me just a second because it's share the screen. Oops. Where is the I don't know how I can share that Telegram screen on here to show you guys what that actually looks like. The Telegram play to earn stuff. I've got Telegram open, but I don't see it as a shareable option in StreamYard, which is unfortunate. Oh yeah, some people can tip you too. All right, let me just go back to DigiFran. Yeah, I sorry, I can't. For some reason on StreamYard, it won't let me share the Telegram screen for some reason. But I was going to show you guys the open network and what actually that looks like. But maybe I can actually go to the open network website so you guys can see that. Okay. All right. So this is 𝗏. This is the open network. So this is the um, this is the thing that I've been talking about for a while. That's on Telegram. So what's crazy about what they've done is they've actually leveraged their existing platform base, which is pretty genius if you think about it. So Telegram has something like almost 1 billion users, and they just are leveraging that existing user base to integrate this blockchain technology, and it's genius. But like what I was highlighting earlier on X about somebody poo-pooing the price of Dfinity and how it's not going anywhere and nobody cares. Well, the open network, this 𝗏 token, it's actually one of the top 10 tokens right now. We can go back and check the market cap, right, of everybody. Here we go, and here you go. So it actually jumped up some places. So I think the last I looked yesterday, I think it was number 9. Oh, and somehow Cardano jumped back in the top 10. That's pretty amazing. I don't even know how these guys did that, because they're not really doing anything significant as far as I can tell, Cardano. But these guys managed to slip into the number 8 spot. And how they managed to slip into the number 8 spot is with these play to earn games, these mini apps right here. And anybody can build one of these mini apps. I've talked ad nauseum about how all it's going to take for somebody to get something that's going to go parabolic is just have something that everybody wants. Let me see if I can. It's difficult to actually. Maybe I can do it this way. No, see, you guys can't see that. you guys can't see that. What these mini games look like. But it's these little play to earn games is what's really driving most of this adoption on this network right now. And you're seeing the TVL, I think, went up something ridiculous like 900%, or something ridiculous. And that's because these meme coins actually have utility. These meme coins are actually little games inside Telegram, and it allows you to earn the tokens. So let me go up to show you the TVL. What? And to show you what I was looking at, I pointed this out the other day. I made a post about it. Okay. So here's DeFi Llama, and here's 𝗏. Here's the open network, and I mean, look at this. This is insane. So this was just this year, right? So this was January. So it was not really doing much. It wasn't. I don't even think it was in the top 100 back in January. And then, I mean, look at this growth. This growth is absolutely insane. And so, for years, the open network didn't really do much of anything. And then all it took was for people to figure out that they had these addictive little mini games on it, and you could earn rewards just by using the platform, and then boom, you're seeing like an insane amount of growth. There's a couple tokens that are on the open network right now that are over $1 billion market cap, which is wild. Considering that a lot of these tokens just went live this year as tradable tokens. So most of these tokens, these little mini games that you earn rewards for, weren't actually tradable tokens, but you earned the tokens. And then just this year, a lot of these tokens have come online, and boom, like overnight, we're talking about billions of dollars. And so that could absolutely happen. 100% that could happen on DFINITY. DFINITY doesn't get enough credit. I don't think. I mean, they for whatever reason they don't. I mean, DFINITY, the internet computer, it's pretty amazing. I mean, everything that's built on DFINITY, all of this stuff is completely on chain, like this Windows thing that I showed. This little application here, this operating system that somebody in the Windows 98 community, these guys right up here, Windows, these guys built this application, this operating system, and it's all on chain. Everything is completely on chain. Let me share this and let me show you guys. I mean, it's crazy that all of this is on chain, even talking about it. So look at this. You can sign in here with your app. Let me. Oh, you guys can't see that. So there's the little guy. I'm signing in, and I stopped sharing the screen for whatever reason. Why did it stop sharing the screen? Windows. All right, so maybe now you guys can see it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so there you go. So see, now I'm signed in. So that's my identity, right? And so now everything that I do here is completely on chain. Now, to be fair, and I'm probably not doing these guys enough justice on what actually they're doing and everything that can be done on chain just in this Windows thing, because I myself just discovered this within the past 24 hours. But going back to this open chat here, you can join their community, the Windows community, and you can ask them yourself. And it doesn't cost anything to join it. It doesn't require any crypto to come in here and ask questions, which is amazing. I mean, this is how we're going to get adoption. And everybody's wondering when adoption. Well, adoption is already here. It's already working, and there's who knows how many hundreds of millions of people that are completely unaware that all of this entire conversation here is all on chain. All of this is on chain. I'm gonna type this message. Hi. So that message that I just posted, that is 100% on chain, stored on a smart contract. That's wild to me. that nobody's talking about it. And just like with the open network last year, nobody was really talking about the open network. And now all of a sudden, everybody's talking about the open network. And so that's all it's going to take is some sort of catalyst to happen, some sort of app, and everybody's going to use it. And then you're going to see the TVL and whatever ecosystem go up like crazy. Even Solana, I bust their balls all the time. But they have a crazy app that's being built on Solana. They have a ride sharing app called Teleport. Like that's cool to me that you can use a ride sharing app that's completely on chain. Doesn't look like I have anybody that wants to join. Let me look at the questions here. So this okay. So I'm just looking at the so this StreamYard is pretty cool. I guess these what? Oh, okay. So I can show you that way. What website is that? All right. So I don't know where a lot of these questions are coming in. So here's this question. Okay. So this guy sent me some tokens on the platform in its liquid staking platform. Yeah, I talked a little bit about liquid staking with respect to Constellation's ecosystem. They have that bridge that's opening up pretty soon. That's that I'm currently in a testing group. Let me see if I can share that with you guys. Would you guys like to see that? The Ethereum bridge that Constellation is working on. Maybe that won't go too terrible. Let me see if I can find it. DAG bridge testing. Hold on one second. It's the dead air. This is where like a co-host would be helpful. Or if I could show you guys Telegram, it would be helpful so you can see what I'm actually looking at. Okay. All right, I think I got it, but I have to switch here to the okay. And let me log into my wallet. And I have to switch the network because it's a test network here. So networks, I think it's integration net. And is that the right? Yeah, I think that's the right one. Okay. All right. So let me close that. All right. So there we go. So this is the bridge that 3A DAO is building for Constellation's ecosystem, and so this is what is going to allow people to go from the layer 0 to the Ethereum side. And so essentially how it's going to work is let me see. Why can't I click on that? Hold on, I'm gonna move this for a second. Oh, I got to connect the wallet. Okay, sorry. Connect a wallet. Okay, so here we go. Stargazer, and then boom. There it is. And so I'll take I don't know, 100 DAG, and then I want to put it in my my test Ethereum, right? So I'm going to copy my test Ethereum address. But if this was, your real wallet, like you would put in your real address here, and then, paste. And then I'm going to start the bridge. And then this is just confirming that that's what you want. And then I'm confirming. So what you guys can't see is there's another pop-up window that's wanting me to confirm that this is actually what I want to do. And yes, I'm confirming it. And then bam, the transaction is underway. So this is essentially exactly what it's going to look like when this bridge goes live. And so far, I've been able to use it without any issues. It's worked just fine. So for those of you who don't know, Constellation's network is like a feeless network. So the peer-to-peer. So like if you had a DAG address and I sent you DAG, it would be like instant. But so like right now, what we're doing is we're going from mainnet Constellation to the Ethereum side, and it takes a little bit. I think it took me on average about 3 minutes for this swap, or not necessarily a swap, but for the bridge to happen. And then once it does happen, I will be issued some WDAG tokens. So I can maybe zoom in here and show you guys a little bit. So you can see up here where it gives you the total token amount. So in my address, in my test address, I have 3,000 DAG tokens. I've got about an ETH's worth of test ETH, and I've got 1.8 WDAG. So the WDAG is like the Ethereum version of Constellation. And so there we can see the transaction history. And so you can see that this all works. I've done it multiple times, back and forth, and it works just fine. And so we're going to see tons of liquidity happening within the Constellation community just by this bridge alone, because you're going to have a lot of people that have liquidity on the Ethereum side, and the bridge works in the exact opposite way, right? So if I wanted to send some WDAG, the Ethereum version of DAG, over to Constellation Network, I could do that. And the potential here for liquid staking is going to be immense. the other opportunity that's going to be pretty amazing to watch is people taking out collateralized loans for their DAG tokens and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with it. I mean, you could even put. I mean, the market right now, as everybody's aware of, is not really taking off. I mean, even Bitcoin isn't really jumping up, but we're in the bull market for sure, and it's just a matter of time before all these things go parabolic. And so, I could potentially see lots of people take out loans against their DAG to buy more DAG. I could absolutely see that happening. And let me see. So here's the wrapped DAG tokens, right? So once that swap, you guys can't see that, I guess. Yeah, I guess when I open up the wallet here, the web wallet, you can't see that drop down happen. And I guess I do remember that from the live stream that I did with 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏. But I'm gonna show you on my phone here. What that actually looks like, so you guys can see that this works. That this isn't like smoke and mirrors, so to speak. Yeah, and so this bridge testing has been live for about a week. Let me change the network here. So we're on integration net. Okay. And then I'll swap to the big camera. So see, that's what it looks like. So there's my 1.88 WDAG, and then let me go back to the shared screen here, and see it says it takes about 3 minutes or so for these transactions to go through. And these are all the transactions that I've done. And then, bam. Let me go back to the big screen so it's easier for you guys to see. And so there we go. There's 88 WDAG, right? So the swap happened, and there it is. So it's going to be an exciting day when this actually goes live. And they also have this hackathon that's coming up, and I hope that lots of people build crazy applications with metagraphs. I'd really love to see somebody on the DFINITY network or even the open network bridge these two ecosystems together. Let me see if I can show you guys that website. It talks a little bit more about it. I will try to find it. I got to be careful with what I share, because some stuff isn't supposed to be shared yet, like who the partners are. So here's the Stardust Collective. A lot of you guys might not know or may know that I was recently given a job there. So I'm the social media manager essentially for Stardust Collective, and Stardust Collective is actually funding some of this hackathon, which is great. And then here we had Alan Bohm on here. This is a good one to listen to for those of you who hadn't listened to it. So the former CTO of Coca-Cola was talking about all these application specific possibilities on chain, and they've done some crazy. When he was the CTO of Coca-Cola, they did lots of crazy ideas. Oh, here we go. Like using cell phone minutes for Coke, which is crazy. So here's this hackathon that I was telling you guys about. It starts July 15th, and what they're looking for is for people to build an application utilizing the Metagraph technology, and somebody from Internet Computer could absolutely build some sort of bridge application. Like I said, on Constellation's network, they don't store any data. The hypergraph is just like a data conduit. It's just a data pipeline. So it has end-to-end data security. You can validate data at the source and transmit that data securely. It's not really meant to replace HTTPS, but it can work with it. So if the internet ever gets compromised or hacked somehow, the underlying data, if you're using the hypergraph, it's all protected. And Internet Computer and their canisters, actually, you can store data. So, somebody much smarter than me can maybe figure out a way that that both ecosystems could actually benefit from this stuff. Let's see. And so this is happening on July 15th. And you can see here the partners. It's Constellation Network and Stardust Collective that are putting up a lot of the funds here. It's $100,000 in prizes, but there's also huge partners that everybody knows. So that's maybe a little bit of alpha. The other partners that have yet to be named, everybody in the world has heard of them, 100%. And so once that gets announced, it's going to be pretty exciting times. And yeah, for a late night, we've actually got a few people in here, which is pretty remarkable. And I hope the stream quality is good. So this is the first test stream that I'm doing using my Starlink internet connection. So I hope it's not like super potato quality. I wish I could see the questions a little bit more. I don't know if anybody's got more questions, because I'm here and I'll answer all the questions, and I might even slip up and give some alpha. But yeah, getting back to Lunar Crush, to me, it's not a surprise here that Internet Computer is the number 3 token right now with their altcoin ranking. because they have literally hundreds of apps and, you know, countless users using the platform. And, you know, I don't really know why a lot of people aren't talking about it online. You know, that's the one thing about crypto that I really think needs changing is, you know, you have these engagement farmers, you know, that aren't necessarily really trying um, to show people like real value and like what's happening. Uh, they're only talking about essentially what they're paid to talk about. Uh, you know, I get zero money from Internet Computer, but you know, I just want people to understand that there's crazy value happening right now, and it's just a matter of time before something else, you know, pops off. You know, I talked about the open network way back in January because of what I noticed on Lunar Crush. Um, you know, I can see if I can pull up that. I can see if I could pull up that post. You know, I like it. Just it it blows me away. You know, all the things that are happening right now under people's noses, and you know, nobody is really even talking about it. You know, Constellation Network. That's another. Uh, It's another network that, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't even talking about it for whatever reason. And if you had any sort of doubt on if this thing was going to be big, you just take a look at the National DigiFoundry and their working groups. You know, they have the biggest key players in the world that are part of this. You have IBM that is a part of this. You have Microsoft, which is a part of this. You have the world's largest economy, which is part of this. You have the world's largest data producer, which is the Department of Defense, that is actually part of this. Space Force is part of this. NASA is part of this. The Defense Innovation Unit is actually part of this. So you know it's only a matter of time before something that's happening within these working groups really kicks off. Uh, you know, there's actually let me pull it up. So there's actually a company that's building on the hypergraph right now. It's in the NDF. So it's this. And I made a video about it actually. Here's my video. You know, talking about Intrana. So Intrana is taking quants tooling. So for those of you who know what quant is you know, quant has applications for businesses, but their tooling is sort of complex. And unless you have the money or the resources to hire developers to integrate quant's tooling, it's not really beneficial for you. And nobody really can do it easily. But Intrana is having a seamless tool where you don't have to do anything. So any Joe Blow that has a shop that wants to use Quant's tooling, Intrana will allow you to do that. It all happens under the hood without you doing anything about it. And so that's going to be pretty amazing to watch when this thing actually goes live. And I think some of the applications, part of their platform, I think is going to be ready to be shown here pretty soon. So this is going to be pretty exciting to watch. This Intrana people. The other things that are interesting that are happening on the hypergraph specifically, and why people should pay attention, is there's 3 cities, and I've talked about this before. So Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin are all working on ways to integrate this technology from Constellation, the metagraphs specifically. Let me look at the oh, okay. So here's this question. How soon can DAG do a 10x? You know, I think I think it could happen pretty soon. I mean, I think it could probably realistically happen this cycle. You know, and you know, why am I so confident that you know, it could probably happen this cycle? You know, it's because of stuff like this, the National DigiFoundry. You know, you have people, you have the National Science Foundation, you have the U.S. Department of Treasury, you have the U.S. Space Force involved. You know, and all it's going to take is for one of these things to be used, and this thing will run like nobody's business. You know, what the government's doing with it, you know, we might not ever actually see it, because all of this stuff is gonna run under the hood. But you know, I talked a little bit about their 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝗁 token. Let me go back. Let me go back here to this thing where I actually talked about the 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝗁 token, and where the guy from Coca-Cola we had on board. So this is actually a really good space. So if you guys aren't following Stardust Collective, you should actually follow Stardust Collective. Stardust Collective is the community DAO for Constellation's ecosystem, and its main focus in objective is the broader education about the entire ecosystem. It actually has funds, and if you've got an idea for an application, you can apply for a grant. And a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure of speaking with Alan Boehm, who is the former CTO of Coca-Cola. He's also formerly with H&M and Procter & Gamble. So he's actually one of the new advisory board members for Constellation. And he was talking specifically about some of the advantages of this system and why people would want to leverage that existing technology. And we talked about the 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝗁 token, which a lot of people was hard for them to grasp, like the utility and the value of this token. So what I tried to show people, let me see if I can pull up my posts where I talked about it specifically. So what this token does is, let me find a post where I was actually talking about it. it's a little bit easier on the phone to sift through. Here we go. So here's a post that I made under the Stardust account, right? So essentially, the way that they're showing the use case right now, so people can get a reward. People can get these tokens by just creating a DAG wallet, by creating a Stardust wallet, by performing swaps on Simplex or XLX, just by buying DAG. So you can actually buy DAG right now through the Stargazer wallet. If you're on a wait list to be a node, and just by adding a wallet. And so how that works in a broader context, and I talked about this several times online because there was people that were sort of confused with how this could be applied in the real world. Well, in the real world, how it can be applied is, for instance, let's say McDonald's was trying to get more people to go to their chains because right now there's actually a slump in people doing that. So they could airdrop people McD tokens if you go to this specific McDonald's within the next hour. So if you go to this specific McDonald's in the next hour, they'll drop you some tokens. The other way that this could work in the real world is like with those ride sharing example. So let's say somebody was going to build a competitor to Uber, like that teleport person, and you could airdrop people these tokens to use the platform. That's how Uber did it way back in the day. That's how they onboarded so many users. They gave away like essentially free rides. And once they hook you in to their platform and people see how great it is to use, like ride sharing, you got people. In that teleport app, in my opinion, they're failing on onboarding people because they're missing the biggest potential here for users. They're not doing anything with the miles earned when you're using this app. From my understanding, the only part that works on chain is making these little NFTs, but they're not doing anything with these points. I could give you points if you wanted to test out this ride sharing app. And I've earned a bunch of points. I could be like, hey man, you got to test this out. Here's a wallet. Here's some free tokens. Use get a ride. It's amazing. The other possibility here is like bartering, which is what actually Alan Bone was talking about. So you could have a future here where I have a bunch of ride share points, but maybe I want a free airplane ticket. So maybe I can swap with you. I can swap my airline miles for your ride sharing stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to be happening on the hypergraph. And it's happening right now with this 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝘁 token. You could even extrapolate that out even further, right? There was their article where they talked about like following. So if you go to Stardust Collective and you follow them, you could get tokens just airdropped to you just by following certain people. And so you can see how this could be extremely valuable to communities. You could maybe integrate that in somehow with this open chat, right? People that follow the open chat or join these specific groups could get airdropped these tokens. I mean, there's literally endless possibilities on how this all could work out. And that's when I think it's going to 10x. I mean, it could 10x, you know, right after this swapping happens. Right after this, let me go back here. Right after this bridge, when this bridge goes live, you know, you could have you know, crazy TVL happening, because what you're gonna need for this bridge to be successful is you're gonna need liquidity on both sides, right? So there's lots of people that, you know, that have substantial bags of DAG, and I know for a fact there's lots of people that are just waiting for the opportunity to stake their DAG into a liquidity pool like this. You know, because taking out a collateralized loan for your DAG, you know, I mean, I know lots of people that can't wait for this opportunity. You know, whether or not that's a good decision or not, you know, that's, I mean, who knows? Is 1,000 DAG enough? I mean, I guess that all depends on. I guess that all depends on the price of DAG. I mean, if DAG goes to $1. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. 10,000 is 10,000 DAG enough? I don't know if you can buy. Let's see the DAG right now. Let's go to the DAG Explorer, and let's see. I think it's like 3 cents or something like that right now. Yeah, so it's like 3 cents right now. Yeah, so you can get 10,000 DAG for pretty cheap right now, and if it goes to $1, you know, that's you got yourself quite a bit of money, right? I think the all-time high. I think we're going to see an all-time high again this cycle, and so that was 46 cents. So that's, you know, $4,600, right? So is 10,000 DAG enough? I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, if it's enough. But what I can tell you is, let me pull up the website so I can show you a little bit more about how the tokenomics is going to work. So here's the website for Constellation, and yeah, they're just, so these metagraphs are essentially layer 1 chains. So each metagraph is its own unique blockchain, and that's something that a lot of people don't really understand. You know, what's actually happening, and so a lot of people, you know, want, like, you know, these simple meme coins, and you know, this 𝗚𝘵𝗀𝗀 token, for example. I mean, yes, I guess that's a meme token, but it actually has utility, and that token is an entire network. And so that's the big difference. So here's the partnership with Forward Edge AI, but let me go to the to the core concepts, and then let me go to the network fees. So this page actually goes over, I recommend, if you don't know anything about Constellation's ecosystem, just go to their website and then go to the learn section and go down each one of these tabs, and it's it's pretty good. It goes over pretty much everything you need to know about the network. But let me get back to this. There's a formula here. I don't know if it's on this the network fees part. So that's the other thing is, so yes, it's a feeless network. So the peer-to-peer part of the network is always going to be feeless. It is never going to cost a user anything to send an NFT or to send somebody money. So there's no gas fees in that sense, right? That's always going to be feeless, always. Where the fees do come in is if you're a really heavy data producer. There are snapshot fees associated with that. So I think the free model that they've tested out is 50 snapshots a second or something like that. And so here's the formula that I wanted to kind of dive into, like when you were asking if 10,000 DAG is enough. So I'm gonna try to explain it as simply as possible. So the metagraphs themselves, again, are so here's the formula. And I can't zoom in on this, but this is a good little graphic here, because this shows the architecture, and up here this is the hypergraph, and these are the metagraphs themselves. But let me go back to the network fees here, and this how the snapshot fees are calculated, right? So when you have an application, you have your layer one network, if you will, and all the transactions that happen on that network, whatever it could be. Like if I had my 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝘀 token and rewarded people for using my network. So all of the thousands of transactions that happen on that network are bundled up into snapshots. And so it takes lots of data and it puts it all together into a snapshot, and those snapshots are sent to the global network to be validated. And where this snapshot fee comes in is if you wanted to lower the cost of running your network, you could have people stake more DAG, because DAG is the bandwidth, if you will, for the entire network. It's the utility for the entire hypergraph. So each of these metagraphs can have their own token that's built on the L0 standard, right? So I could have the 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝘀 token, but if I wanted to submit my 𝗙𝗵𝗽 data to the hypergraph, well, that's going to require DAG, because DAG is the bandwidth. But if I wanted to lower the cost of my infrastructure, I could incentivize node operators to stake their DAG on my network, and that would lower the fees. And so your question about is 10,000 enough? I mean, it could be, because you could stake your DAG at some point on a network, and it would lower their fees. And I could potentially see a day where you're going to have multiple networks all competing for your bandwidth, essentially. Am I bullish about ads? Oh yeah, man, I'm like super bullish about ads. We can We can talk about ads if you want. Ooh, we got some more people in here. Yeah, let's talk about ads. I love ads. Is completely applicable to the title of the stream. Everything will be on chain, and we are in a multi-trillion-dollar economy. So let's talk about ads. I love ads. So Alchemy Labs. Bam. So here's ads and labs. Here's the Explorer, right? And so these are all the transactions that are happening on the network right now. These are the latest snapshots happening on the network. And so everything that you're seeing here, all of this was somebody that won a bid slot to have their ad shown on a website. And, we're literally talking about, an industry that's worth, something like $600 billion. Let me see if I can pull up their main website. Where it shows all the people that are currently using it. I mean, there's huge companies that are actually using Alchemy right now. I mean, you've got Disney, Nike, Amazon. The list is endless. Let me pull up their main website so I can show you a little bit more about Alchemy. But I'm incredibly bullish about Alchemy Exchange. I love these guys. Alchemy.org. Okay, so here's their main website. And yeah, if you were an advertiser or you were a publisher, using this network is a no-brainer, because the fee reduction here is astounding. I think the average price for an advertising exchange is something like 15%. So why wouldn't you want to use their platform and save hundreds of millions of dollars? It's a no-brainer. And how the value is turned into the token is, so these advertisers and publishers pay Alchemy in fiat, and 100% of that revenue that they make from advertisers and publishers using the platform, Alchemy in turn uses that to buy ads on the open market. And since ads is the largest liquidity provider in the staking pool, that's how they make their money. So for people wondering if they're taking 100% of their profit and they're buying back ads, how do they make money? Well, that's how they make money. They're the largest liquidity provider of the ads token. And so this thing is going to be a game changer, and it's actually one of the reasons why the price has been pretty steady, I think, and it hasn't really received much damage lately. We've seen a lot of volatility in the markets, but not a lot of volatility in real utility. And why is that? Well, the reason why you're not seeing crazy volatility on Alchemy versus some of these other tokens that have dumped like crazy after Bitcoin did its thing is because real businesses, real multi-billion-dollar businesses are actually using this platform. right now to validate, ads, putting up for an ad auction. And they're paying 𝗚𝘵𝗃 real money, and 𝗚𝘵𝗃 is taking that real money and it's buying back the token. And so it's sort of protected itself from the bear market, if you will. And as more and more people become aware of the platform, you're just going to see the token go up and up and up in price. And you can become a validator. That's another way that you can earn rewards. But yeah, man, I'm like super bullish on 𝗚𝘵𝗃. And this is another one that's sort of below the radar for whatever reason. People aren't really talking about it, but this is all happening right now. Like this is completely live. Let me go back to that labs website. So I mean, you can see, I mean, everything here, all these transactions that are happening, this is live. This is real advertisers and real publishers using the platform right now. So this is not fake. This is all happening right now. And I believe it's, real applications and real use cases like this is what's going to drive the next wave of adoption. It's all the fake stuff that gets a lot of hype and generates a lot of FOMO, because people, the majority of the conversation right now in crypto is, in the casino. And so, lots of people just want to get rich quick and they go after these scams. And, there's people that get absolutely wrecked from buying into these, pumps that are obviously scams. And the majority of people, I mean, it's just a fact. The majority of these people don't make any money, which is sad, but it's, the nature of the beast. But, hopefully as more people become aware of real use cases, real utility, like 𝗚𝘵𝗃, or, like real use cases and real utility, like what's happening right now on Open Chat. There's a lot of amazing things that are happening right now on chain. I made a post the other day about DFINITY and the UN and how they're focused on. Let me see if I can bring up that post, because that's another thing that's pretty crazy that not a lot of people are talking about. Is everybody's focused on like who's going to be using Microsoft, what chain, and like which chain is Amazon going to be using. But what not a lot of people are talking about is stuff like this. So I made a post the other day, actually before I was even aware that DFINITY was doing this with the UN, and specifically focusing on financial inclusion to small and medium-sized businesses. Because what a lot of people aren't really aware of specifically is the global GDP, which stands at trillions of dollars. It's last year it was $105 trillion. 70% of that $105 trillion is actually generated from small to medium-sized businesses. So it's not the Coca-Colas, it's not the Amazons, it's not the Microsofts. It's all these small to medium-sized businesses. And it's these small to medium-sized businesses is where we're going to see adoption happen first, because these people aren't as risk averse as huge corporations are, and they can actually leverage and take advantage of distributed ledger technology more so than a big company. So it's stuff like this is where I think that we're going to see. So the next couple of years, the next year or two, I think we're going to see just this huge flood of adoption from these smaller companies. Let me see if I can pull up my post, because I had lots of charts and stuff associated with it, and it was just pretty funny that on the same day that I asked this question, then later on I was looking through and I see this thing about Dfinity partnered with the UN. And so, that shows me that my thinking is in the same ballpark here, because, the UN's not dumb and the people at Dfinity aren't dumb. I mean, why would you not focus on a massive opportunity that not a lot of people are hammering at? That's like it's like $70 trillion, right? Here we go. So here's this graphic. Here's this graphic that I posted. This was actually from the UN, and it actually talks about that. How 70% of the global GDP is made up from these small to medium-sized businesses, and it isn't the Coca-Colas of the world or the Microsofts of the world. It's these smaller companies. And so as these smaller companies become more aware of the advantages of blockchain, we're going to see mass adoption. And it's which network is going to capitalize on that first. Those are going to be the leaders. And so I would really focus on who's focusing on the small guy, because there's a lot more small guys than there are big guys. And so it's exciting and encouraging to see Dfinity recognizing this opportunity. The other opportunity that I've talked about actually a lot is, I think we're going to see quote mass adoption in developing countries. Because in places like Africa, not everyone in Africa has access to a bank. Here, so I live in United States, and access to a bank for me is super easy. I mean, I can go down the street. There's about 10 different banks that I can go to tomorrow, and open up a new account if I wanted to. It's pretty easy for me to do. But in a lot of developing world, it isn't that easy for people to do. So access to banks and transferring money isn't as easy for people. And this is where distributed ledger technology is really going to take flight, is in the developing world. Let's see. Oh, do I plan to sell into fiat? Yeah, I mean, I've sold out and taken profits plenty of times. You can't make any money if you don't ever take profit. You can't hold forever. So yeah, I've sold and taken profit. But to me, where I really see like an opportunity here is trying to remember name of this app, but everything is done on chain, right? So you don't ever need to go to fiat. Like, you can buy stuff on Amazon. You can even buy airline tickets, and you just connect your wallet, and so you can pay with crypto for this stuff. You can pay for crypto to get stuff at like Whole Foods. So I see that becoming more normalized. So you don't ever necessarily need to go into fiat, because you can conduct everything on chain. If that makes any sense. Like, I think that's going to be more normalized. Yeah, wow, we got like 400 and some odd people here watching, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, this is, I hope this stream is good. I'm just, like I said, I'm testing out the quality here on using my Starlink internet access, and I'm just checking to see if so I'm using what is this website that I'm using to stream? I'm using StreamYard to do it, and so it I don't know if I can show you guys like what it actually looks like. So some of these questions that are coming up, it's like, it says that this guy, like, it says that you asked me this on X, but what's weird is, like, I'm not seeing that question on X, which is like super weird. So this question, do you plan on selling fiat into crypto? That's like, oh, Lunar Crush replied to the stream. Yeah, I don't know if these guys are still watching, but man, I love Lunar Crush. Let me go back to these guys, because so what's great about but that was like an hour ago. They're probably long in bed now. So what's great about Lunar Crush is it's not just crypto specific, right? They are showing trends with everything. So you can see right now across all social media. So they track everything. They track not only X, but they track YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Reddit. And so right now, technology is the number one topic. Different social networks is number 2. Then countries is the number 3 topic. Traveling, and then U.S. elections, and then cryptocurrencies is down there, number 10, the most talked about topic. And then you can go in here, and apparently Meta is the number 1 topic right now. Reddit is number 2. For whatever reason, lots of people are talking about Reddit. I use Reddit a lot, but a lot of people don't really know about Reddit. It's actually one of the greatest aggregators of these social media things. Like, a lot of the things that go viral, like later on TikTok or on Facebook or even on X, it's actually posted on Reddit first. So I don't know if there's a lot of people that go on Reddit, but I go to Reddit a lot, and so here's all the posts about Reddit, and what people are talking about. And so 𝗏𝗏𝗀 is we don't want to see that on stream. Yeah, so 𝗏𝗏𝗀 is a great window into what's happening, socially, and how that ties into crypto and economics is what a lot of people don't understand about the way the markets work. Is it's all emotional, right? So let me pull up something here. So I'm going to pull up a chart. So here's the DAG chart, right? And what a lot of people don't fully understand about like what this candle represents, like this is old data, you know. But 𝗏𝗏𝗀 is taking what's happening in the moment across all social platforms, and it's getting that data. So you're going to see stuff pop socially way before you see something pop up like on a candle. So if you're not using 𝗏𝗏𝗀, you're at an extreme disadvantage. Because you're missing out. Like if you're just focused on cryptocurrencies specifically, let me go back to the cryptocurrencies, and let me show you the alt rank. And so see, as we've even been talking right now, this Arboretum, they weren't number one when I started the stream. Remember, if you guys were, if everybody in here has been in here since the beginning, Shiba Inu was number one. And now Arboretum has taken the lead socially. Internet computers slipped from number 3 to number 4. And so, I personally don't know too much about this network, but I know this guy, and he loves Solana. But so if you don't know anything about them and you're coming across 𝗏𝗏𝗀 and you're trying to figure out like what the hell is going on with this token, why is everybody talking about this token? And so you can go to 𝗏𝗏𝗀 and you can see all the posts here that are talking about this network, and it'll help you make an informed decision on whether or not maybe this is something jumped on my radar. I noticed in January they were in the categories. They were in this. I think I want to say that they were number one. But anyway, they were within the top 25 of the most talked about tokens, and I hadn't really even looked into the open network at all, which is kind of funny because I literally use Telegram every single day. And it was back then when I started looking into it, and then sure enough, a couple of months later, bam! Now everybody's talking about it because they're the number 8 token by market cap, and so they literally went up billions of dollars. I mean, I showed you that chart earlier from 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝗀, right? I mean, it's absolutely insane what has happened, and it happened because people weren't really paying attention. Everybody was focused on Solana or Bitcoin or Ethereum. And so there's lots of things that are happening right now that people are completely oblivious to. And one of the reasons why they're completely oblivious to these things is because they're following the wrong people. And I don't know how to change that, unfortunately. But there's so many people that just are following somebody just because they have like 1 million followers. And what they don't understand is that guy doesn't necessarily know what the hell he's talking about. He's probably getting paid to talk about it. So, again, this data doesn't lie. I mean, this graphic here, let me switch this view because my I'll switch it over here. Yeah, there we go. I mean, look at that. That's madness. And and this was in January. So the TVL on January 5th was $13.8 million for the open network. Right now, the total volume locked is almost $1 billion. Like, that's, you want to talk about banana zone? This fucking chart right here is a banana zone. And back here, nobody was really talking about it. But people are sure as hell talking about it right here. And so you missed out on all of this. And you missed out on all of this because you were following the wrong people. And those people that you were following are only talking about things that they're paid to talk about. But, you don't have to take my word for it. You can just go to Lunar Crush. Lunar Crush is giving you real-time data of what people are talking about. I mean, how many people are talking about on your feed, whoever you're following, how many people are talking about Arboretum? I can tell you I'm not talking about it. I've never even talked about it. I don't even know what the hell that, oh, look at that. And it just flipped. And it just flipped. So this is another network that's pretty interesting. I've actually talked about them because they're part of Cosmos. I want to do a deeper dive into Cosmos. But yeah, I mean, I recommend everybody, just take a look at Lunar Crush because it's an amazing platform. And, they're just posting the data, and the data doesn't lie. Yeah, I love Lunar Crush. Let me see if I can find my my post about the open network that I posted back in January, which is pretty funny. Not in. I wish it was a little bit easier to do this on the PC, because it's. On the computer, it's a little bit difficult to find stuff, but I'm looking for my specific post about the open network that I talked about in January, and I was showing the data that's actually found on Lunar Crush. It was you know, I used Lunar Crush. Here we go. So I'm going to and you guys aren't even gonna believe this. This is this. I'm not even gonna spoil it. Hold on. This is pretty funny. Considering what token is up front right now, this is pretty hilarious. Okay. All right. All right, so I just posted that on my feed on X. So if you guys are following me on X, you can see it. I just this is funny. Not even gonna spoil it. So remember, look at the tokens right now that are on Lunar Crush. that are the top tokens that are on Lunar Crush. I'm about to switch the screen and show you what I posted back in January. Okay, hold on, let me find it. This is funny. Okay. So here's my post in January. The top cryptocurrencies by interactions. TON. When nobody was talking about it. And then who was the number 2? Arboretum. Right there. And look at this. I mean, this is like insane, right? And so this should have been a clear signal to people way back when that something was happening. And you know, now you know, look at Arboretum. Arboretum is number 1. So that's pretty funny that as we were talking, Arboretum was the number 1 token on Lunar Crush altcoin ranking, and I completely forgot that they were way back when, you know, something was happening. So again, like I wasn't even you know, fully paying attention to what was happening. But guess who was paying attention to what was happening? Lunar Crush. So, you know, again, you're probably following the wrong people because they're probably being paid to talk about whatever the hell it is that they're talking about. You know, and you know, if they're only talking about you know, stuff like Solana, then they're probably not worth following, because there's tons of stuff that's happening right now under everybody's noses that you're unaware of, like TON and Arboretum. You know, way back in January, there was a clear signal. And you know, like in my defense, you know, I can't really cover everything. You know, I can't. I mean, there's literally tens of thousands of different tokens. And my focus is, you know, pretty narrowed into a couple different areas. And there's tons of stuff that's happening. That's wild. Like on Internet Computer. So like I've been following Internet Computer for a while. It's for about 1.5 years. I've been trying to get something moving between Constellation Network and Internet Computer. And I didn't know about this this open chat. I mean, I would have for sure used this application last year if I would have known about it, because I'm all about community. And this community so far, from what I've noticed, is insanely active. Look at this. I've got, in a little over 24 hours, I've managed to get 1,600 users in this open chat. Okay, like that's wild. And that just shows that there's an incredibly active community within DFINITY and this open chat. And that's goes back to what we were talking about on Lunar Crush, because Lunar Crush tracks stuff like this. And so if you want an insight into what is about to happen and where things are going to move, well, it moves where the people are. And in January, it was clear that there was a lot of people on the open network, and there was hundreds of millions of people talking about this thing, and all the big influencers weren't talking about it. But there was this wave that was happening, and a huge tsunami that was about to take force, that most people were completely unprepared for. Again, like this chart right here shows it all. I mean, this, to me, I still can't get over this. Like this is fucking nuts. All these garbage ass influencers, nobody was talking about the open network and all the amazing things that were happening on it. And even in January, when it was clear that something was going on, and you could see that on Lunar Crush, right? Because they have the data, right? As we've seen, there's Arboretum, but people still ignored it for whatever reason. And now that it's way up here, almost $1 billion locked up, everybody wants to talk about it. Now everybody's like a friend of the open network. When meanwhile back here, nobody really wanted to talk about all the amazing applications that were on chain and all the crazy things that were being developed. They only want to talk about it right now when the price has gone up. So if you want to find opportunity before the big banana zone happens, you either A, need to follow different people, or B, just start looking elsewhere for valuable data. And Lunar Crush is actually one of those places that has the valuable data. Okay. Here's a good question. It's about the DoD. So how many more phases with the DoD before Constellation gets selected as a government preferred DLT? Well, they actually are a government preferred DLT, and they have actually moved out of a phase, and they actually have a direct contract with the government. I have talked about this literally thousands of times. Let me pull up my my feed here. So if you're on X and you're on a phone here, I'm gonna switch. So it's this it's this thing right here that I'm going to show you guys, but I'm going to show you guys an easier way. And it's not just with me, it's actually anybody you can do this with. So here's the X platform, right? Oops. And so you see this little search. Whoops. Oh, we had some stability issues. But yeah, so you can go to anybody's profile and search for any topic. And so that'll save you a lot of digging. But here, so this I've literally posted this this graphic here, countless times. And so Constellation's blockchain is, there are several blockchains, like 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝘀 chain is an approved blockchain by the federal government, but Constellation's blockchain specifically is the only publicly traded blockchain that is approved for federal government use. And it was, let me see if I can pull up the so it's actually this interview.
22, we were validated by the Air Force Research Laboratory.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
And to just kind of give a little leak here,
but he was so this is Benjamin Diggles. This is a co-founder. This is the guy that does all the enterprise and federal stuff.
Around using different vernacular, which I know sounds
during
weird, but we don't
consensus.
use words like wallet.
He was super fucking amped up because just hours before that,
whatever we
got
want to say, that is not bad.
Notification
but they're interested
from
in
the
things like
DoD that they secured another contract. And so this isn't a phase. This is a direct contract for the application. Now, we don't actually know what it's for yet. We can speculate, and because of the stuff that they're doing with Forward Edge AI and Space Force, my personal guess, and I have no insight into this, right? I'm just peeling back the layers of the onion, if you will. I think it has to do with satellite stuff. And so more stuff about Constellation that you guys might not know. They built this universal kit for the federal government. And so it allows them to essentially build a metagraph. That's actually what it is. It's this blockchain kit. And that's what metagraphs are, the public metagraphs. It's a DLT kit that'll allow anybody to build an application-specific network for whatever your use case. And in the government's use case, the initial use case that they showed them was around U.S. Transcom and the Civil Reserve Air Fleet. And it's got multiple partners here that are all working together. And here's Constellation. There's also CGI. I've talked about them a lot of times. CGI is one of the largest integrators in the government. So there's literally thousands of contractors that access the federal network through CGI. You also have 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝘀 chain that's a part of it. And yeah, I mean, it's all wild stuff. And let me see, I got kind of sidetracked here a little bit. I was I think I was looking for one specific post here. Here's another little graphic that I've pulled up a bunch of times, and so this is just talking about the milestones that they've had, right? And so these guys at the government, like, they get it, like they understand the use case for for blockchain. Here are some of the key players in the National DigiFoundry. Obviously you have Microsoft, you have IBM, you have NASA, you have the International Space Station, the National Science Foundation, you have Space Force, the Department of Treasury, Homeland Security, so yeah, I mean, there's going to come a time, I'm convinced. You are not going to convince me otherwise, just by how deep these guys are involved in everything federal. There's going to be a day where if you're wanting to access the network and send data, like send your healthcare data, right, over and share with it, it's going to be using the hypergraph, right? Because it's going to have that check mark that's validated, because that's what the government is looking for. They're looking for security. And so you're not really going to have a choice but to use this network. And that's the future that I see happening with Constellation. Like, you're not going to have a choice. Like, Microsoft is not going to have a choice. IBM is not going to have a choice, especially when they're wanting to access any data from a federal or state level. You're not going to have a choice. It's going to be using the hypergraph. That's where I see this thing going. And they just secured another contract, and so we'll see where it goes from there. But my personal opinion is I think that the contract that they got has something to do with space stuff, just because of the partnerships that they've manifested with OpenAI, and even all of the stuff that they're doing, OpenAI is doing with the space industry and the U.S. Space Force. Let me see if I can go back to that to that working group here. I'll share this tab. So here's the space working group, right? So you can see, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. So here's the space working group from the National DigiFoundry. And this is when they meet. And so everybody is 1,000,000% clear on what's happening right here. This is a DAG address. This isn't an Ethereum address. This isn't a Solana address. This isn't even a Bitcoin address. This is a DAG address. And the only way you get a DAG address is by using metagraphs. Okay. And what exactly is happening in the space working group? Well, it says it pretty clear here. Digital assets can streamline use cases involved in international commerce. With this in mind, the Space Working Group will explore many and varied use cases that operate in the intersection of digital assets and space manufacturing. The working group includes the NSF, which is the National Science Foundation, NASA, Space Force, the Defense Innovation Unit, and other agencies, the private sector, and innovators. And here's Dr. David Beck from the Space Force, talking about what actually the Space Force does and how actually everyday users are actually, protected by the Space Force, right? And all of the satellite data that passes through their systems. You can go to their website. I really recommend watching this whole interview. It's pretty insightful on actually what the Space Force is doing. And this talks a little bit more about the working group, and this talks about the research that they're doing. A lot of what they're doing actually involves manufacturing, and here's where I believe that, again, if you just start putting two and two together, why I believe that they secured some sort of official contract that involves space stuff is because of what they're doing with forward edge AI. So enhanced GPS accuracy with AI, right? So, as we've seen recently, there's a lot of spoofing that happens. And, you can use blockchain to actually secure that data. So it's not spoofable. So the underlying data is actually protected. The whole trustworthiness of everything is some of the stuff that they're talking about in this space working group. They're also talking about testing out autonomous navigation in space, right? Because you're going to have these, robots that are going out to different satellites and maybe fixing them or even gassing them up. There's also a lot of, so I've talked about this before. I'm going to digress a little bit, but there's this whole other opportunity. I've been talking about this way before I got into crypto, because I'm super bullish on space stuff. So there's these little things called space tugs. And what these, let me see if I can pull it up here for a second. Here we go. Yeah, so this is a space tug, right? Okay. And so what a lot of people don't realize is, like, when you send your payload like SpaceX, it only goes up to a certain orbit, right? And then but the geosynchronous orbit, there's different levels, and if you would dump your payload at maybe you hitch a ride with SpaceX, but only they're only going up so high, but you want to get above that, right? And so this is where these space tugs come in, and these space tugs can actually take your payload and boost it up to the next level. So getting back to forward edge AI and this, man, I got too many tabs open right now. I got so many tabs open. Okay, so going here, this autonomous navigation in space, right? So this could potentially be used. I mean, you could have all these little robots in space that are moving stuff around. There's also space manufacturing. So a lot of crazy materials actually happen in zero G. So they're testing out 3D printing stuff in space right now. And again, more automation stuff happening because one of the crazy things with Constellation's Metagraph technology is it allows machine-to-machine communication, and it's all secure because you can validate the data at the source. So yeah, I mean, you can see, I mean, and this is just all in the space working group. So this is just one working group, and then you can see the people that are in here. These are big players in here. NASA, Space Force, but that's just one working group. There's many different working groups here that are part of the National DigiFoundry. Constellation is actually spearheading a working group of their own, the Secure Information Sharing Working Group, and it talks about some of the ways that some of these organizations are, that's important. So in this Secure Information Sharing Working Group, actually, the Department of Education is involved in this, right? And so they have this data exchange between universities. Intellectual property at a lot of these research institutions is big business. I mean, there's universities that make billions of dollars, and intellectual theft of that property is, I mean, nobody wants their ideas getting stolen. So, having a secure way to share information between different parties is extremely valuable. I don't know if it talks about who's all involved in this one, but yeah, if you wanted an insight, like a sneak peek at what's actually happening on the hypergraph, this DigiFoundry is a good window, because this is essentially like an incubator program. So you've got multiple stakeholders all building out and testing out different applications that are all on chain. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that answered your question about the phases for Constellation, but Constellation has moved out of the phases, so they are no longer in phases anymore. They have a direct contract, and they scooped up and they secured another contract just like last month. Yeah, so we got a couple more people watching. It's late night. I don't know how much more I'm going to stay up. I don't know if anybody has any more questions. This was just me testing out the bandwidth from my Starlink, because I'd actually like to do these live streams more often, and not just do them when I'm at home in my house. I'd like to be able to do them anytime, especially the morning. There's a lot of news that happens in the morning. Maybe do like morning updates would be good. Morning like interviews, like we could have a show maybe. And I've been on here for 2 hours. That's pretty wild. And thanks everybody for hanging with me for 2 hours. But yeah, exciting things are happening right now, and I know that a lot of people are worried about the market, because they see Bitcoin going down. But I'm not worried about it, because real stuff is is being used right now, and it's happening. It's happening everywhere. I mean, look, you got people like 𝗚𝘵𝗱𝘁 that are validating real ads right now. You can see this represented. So this is somebody winning a real bid right now, and this is all on chain. And there's lots of stakeholders, lots of big publishers and advertisers that everybody has heard of is using 𝗚𝘵𝗱𝘁. You got Coca-Cola, you got Amazon, you got New Balance, you got Disney, and they're using it because they're literally saving hundreds of millions of dollars using this platform, because it's a lot cheaper and it works better, and you've got 100% transparency. Advertising fraud. I wasn't really aware of this before I started looking into 𝗚𝘗𝗻. Advertising fraud is the second largest fraud in the world, which is wild, right? So people are just literally taking hundreds of millions of dollars from from Coca-Cola, and saying they're going to put it up on their website, and all these people saw their ad, and all of that's bullshit. Like what's happening with Google and their ads is 100% bullshit. There's no way they wall that off, all that data. So people like Coca-Cola or New Balance or Disney, they don't have any transparency on any of their ad spend. So they have no idea what happened with any of their ad spend. But with 𝗚𝘗𝗻, it's all transparent. It's all on chain, and you can't hide it, and it's there for everybody to see. And it's stuff like this is what's going to move the needle in the future. And all these applications running on chain in the background without anybody knowing that everything is done on chain. Just like this open chat platform, this entire thing is on chain. Some of you guys might be joining for the first time, but I can just type in hi here on this thing, and that message was created and stored, and all of this is on chain, which is pretty wild. And it's stuff like this. It's real applications and real use cases is what's going to drive everything forward. So unless somebody has any questions, I think I'm losing my voice a little bit because I've been talking nonstop for like 2.5 hours. But I'll be happy to answer anybody's questions if somebody's got a question before I get off and head to bed, I guess, because it's it does look like the stream. So that's weird. So sometimes like this the internet cuts out here with the what you call it, Starlink. it dips out. Oh, nobody's viewing on I had this streamed to I thought I had it streamed to YouTube as well, but I guess it's not streaming to YouTube. That's unfortunate. We'll have to try that again later. Oh no, it is there, but we've got no viewers. No viewers on YouTube, but that's okay. We'll build it up. We'll build up the YouTube. And this is great that I can actually stream on multiple platforms at once. Okay. Well, if nobody's got any questions, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks a million for hanging with me for 2 hours. I recommend, and I would love everybody to just jump on Open Chat, like try it out yourself. It's a great platform. It doesn't require any crypto to use. You can join it for free. It doesn't require any ICP to make an internet identity. But if you really want an idea of what an on-chain future looks like, and like, test it out. I mean, I could definitely see a future where X, for example, migrates on chain. And if you want to see what that future looks like, well, that future is actually happening right now on Dfinity, and you can test it out yourself, because this app here, everything here is on chain. These rewards that people are sending is completely on chain, right? And I think I'm going to be spending a little bit more time on this Open Chat versus Telegram, because it's clear to me that there's a ton of active users, and that's really what it all comes down to is who's got the strongest community. And as we've seen from the from the data from Lunar Crush, you need to be paying attention to what the community is saying. And we've already seen this this flip right here. So whatever the hell this turbo is, people should check it out, because there's a hell of a lot of people talking about turbo for whatever reason. I have no idea why, but you guys should check it out. Maybe turbo is the next 100x. I don't know. Okay. Again, thanks for watching. And I will probably do this again. I'd like to make this regular. I really like the video stuff because it's easier to explain stuff. And until next time, I'm gonna head off to bed. All right, take it easy, everybody.